Tomorrow, we return to our summer miniseries Deadly Second Chances as it reaches its final chapter, and all eyes turn to Bella Taibon. Before her climactic showdown with Hellweaver, we're taking a full dive into Bella's wild and bloody legacy. Tonight, in 4 epic stories by Rob Fields, we meet Bella, the outlaw vampire, Bella, the heartbroken heroine, Bella, the protector, and Bella, the monster slayer. From Thanksgiving terror to rooftop duels, to a cosmic eclipse of power, this is the abridged supernatural saga of The Last Taibon. So grab your garlic, light a torch, and beware of what lurks in Ravenhenge. Because when tomorrow comes, Bella faces her deadliest second chance yet. So make sure you're subscribed, and let's dive in. The Last Taibon by Rob Fields. It's dark, the middle of winter, and it's a fucking blizzard. I've been walking along the highway for a while now, keeping tight hold of my Reebok pump basketball shoes. I suppose I take great joy in knowing that I'm walking around in the elements, half naked and barefoot. And I'm actually quite comfy. Also, I'm fucking soaked from all the snow. I'll have to take my clothes off and let them dry when I find a place to take shelter. Not the first blizzard I've walked through, and it won't be the last. It's about an hour before I finally see the lights of what appears to be a tavern. I turn and walk across the snowy parking lot and past several covered cars. I'm sure there'll be people inside waiting out the storm, but I'm wondering if a certain motherfucker named Richland Gillian will be inside. I open the door and I walk in. Of course this fucking place is going to be filled with men. They all look at me, some gawking that I'm dressed like a slut, while others are probably wondering how long I've been out in the blizzard like this. And no, I don't see Richland Gillian in there. Might as well have a drink before I head back out. Not a single motherfucker in the place says anything to me as I make my way to the bar and sit on a stool. The bartender slowly approaches me. "Can I help you?" I point to the bottle. "I'll take that firewater. All of it." He just looks at me. "All of it?" I dig into my tattered jean shorts and pull out some money. Then I slam it on the bar. Did I fucking stutter? The bartender takes my money and hands me the firewater. No asking me for an ID, which is how I fucking like it. After popping the spout off and draining the hot cinnamon liquor, I slam the bottle down and see the looks on everybody's faces, especially the bartender's. You want anything else?" he asks me. I point to the unopened bottle of Jim Beam. "All of it?" Slapping the bar gets the bottle put right in front of me. I open it up and this time enjoy my drink. So delicious. Then, one of those motherfuckers finally decides to approach me. I suppose I'm always asking for this kind of fucking shit since I'm a blonde who's wearing tattered denim shorts and an athletic top that's only good for covering my small titties. Like I said, I look like a total slut. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to wear normal clothes for a very long time. And now, I'm pissed when a guy who looks like he could eat me whole puts his hand on my shoulder. I neither hesitate nor look his way. "Hands off, motherfucker." He clamps down on my shoulder now. "Quite a mouth on you, little girl. Little young to be in here, ain't you?" I almost swung my bottle to shatter it on his head, but I stop and remember that it's Jim Beam. I take hold of his wrist and make him scream in intense pain. Then I turn around and give him a kick that sends him flying across the bar and smashing into the jukebox. Oh well, country music sucks major dick anyway. I turn around to see a few other so-called men bold enough to come at me. I have no problem picking one up and slamming him right through a table, one-handed. I grab the other one and throw him behind the bar. He hits the back and falls forward. The rest of the motherfuckers quickly back away. I turn to the bartender and grab him to me. "Nearest town." He gulps when he sees my red eyes and points in the direction. "Strickfield, 5 miles." I let him go. "Thank you." I pick up my Jim Beam and my shoes and head back out into the blizzard. I've finished my Jim Beam by the time I cross into Strickfield. After dropping the bottle in a trash can, I walk around some more. Very few people are out in this blizzard. I do see a few cars on the streets, though. Then I see more bright lights and become excited. It's a 24-hour diner. Yeah, Denoyer's Grill's bound to have some good comfort food. I walk into the diner and get the same looks as the motherfuckers back at the bar. The college boy behind the counter gives me that look. I hold up my wet men's basketball shoes for him to see. Then I drop them on the floor and slip into them. The guy smiles. You can sit wherever's open. I park my sexy ass at the counter. Minutes later, I get my order. Wow. Now this is a fucking burger. I pick up the huge burger and take a bite. Sure wish I had more Jim Beam to wash it down. The Coke will be just fine. The counter boy keeps stealing peeks at me. Can't really blame him. Some of the other patrons in here are staring at me with contempt. Fuck them. I ask the counter boy, "You don't have any booze in here, do you?" He shakes his head slowly. "Unlimited soft drink refills is the best I got, miss." I slide my empty Coke glass to him. Fine. After I get my refill, I slip my shoes back off and relax some more. The counter guy is still looking at me. You're probably wondering what my fucking story is, right? "Miss, please refrain from using profanity," he asked me. "We've got other customers in here." I smile a little. "Okay." I look at his name tag. "Martin?" "Since you ask nicely. Also, this guy's really cute. Pretty easygoing. I think I kinda like him." "What's your name?" Martin asks. I flash him a sexy smile. "Bella." Martin finally answers my question. "Okay, Bella, I guess you could say I'm curious, yes. I mean, it ain't every day I meet, well, a hot little devil like me." I finish for him. "I get it. I know I'm not dressed for that blizzard outside. Far from it. I'm cold and wet all over. But when you're me, things like blizzards and summer heat don't really bother you." You're not on any kind of drugs, are you?" Martin asks. I laugh a little. "I can drink all the booze I want and down 100 ecstasy tablets. None of that affects me. Not when you're not human." "Okay, fuckers, here's where you pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. And Martin, instead of wondering when I'm going to take my clothes off and fuck Martin's brains out. As I'm sure you horror freaks already know, I'm not a normal girl. I mean, come on. A girl like me who looks about 17 or 18 doesn't just throw around big men like they're pillows, and I certainly wouldn't be walking around nearly naked in a fucking blizzard neither. I'm what you would call a master vampire. Or maybe a derivative of one. My story begins in 1889. I came from Shore Village, which would years later become the huge megalopolis known as Shore City. I came from a family that was anything but normal. See, when you're a Taibon, you're forever fucked. Your life is tied to shit such as magic and the supernatural. You spend your whole fucking life training and fighting this shit. I actually started training under Gramps when I was about 4. Every day was the fucking same shit. Up in the morning, breakfast, training, lunch, more training, dinner, nightly hunting, sleep. I was already a trained killer by the age of 6. And the bitch I am now. In other words, innocence lost. Even then, I found I was always having to compete with my older brother Nicholas. It was always a motherfucking rivalry between him and me. Nicholas was a good 3 years older than me. Still, he would prove to be a way better fighter. I'm not afraid to admit it. Still, he was always so sure of himself that he made it a point to prove it even to me. Probably why he always called me Runt. Still, I could be a pain in his ass too. Gramps and Grams saw how vicious and clever I could be and called me Little Devil. Anyway, Gramps used our sibling rivalry to make us much better fighters. Probably too well. I couldn't tell you how many times Gramps had to break us up when we'd lose our shit and go at each other. Anyway, Nicholas got to be so good at what Gramps taught him that he was actually good at killing master vampires. Master vampires are quite powerful and are many times older than your average garden variety vampires. The older vampires get, the more powerful they become. I don't mind telling you that master vampires are harder than fuck to destroy. Still, Nicholas actually surprised Gramps out in the field by taking one down. By himself. He understood the vampire weaknesses much better than anyone in our family. The fact that Nicholas liked to face master vampires by himself didn't sit too well with Gramps. Even I voiced my concerns. Of course, Nicholas didn't want to hear me and let me know about it on no uncertain terms. It was shit like that that made me just want to yank his dick off and choke him with it. So, Gramps started spending more time with me and working with me himself, even though Nicholas continued to show his dominance out in the field. I had a gut feeling that he was asking for it. I mean, how long would his luck last? Remember that saying about how no matter how good you are, there's always going to be someone else better than you? That someone was Thornton Gillian, who was the worst master vampire the Taibon family had ever faced. Gillian was thousands of years old and had slaughtered many of our family, including my own parents. The Taibons were renowned for taking down the supernatural, but Thornton Gillian would prove to be the deadliest motherfucker we'd ever faced. In fact, he was the reason why I am the last Taibon. That fateful day came. Thornton Gillian attacked our property without warning. When Gillian subdued Gramps and me, Nicholas fought him and gave him one hell of a fight. It seemed that Nicholas was finally going to end him, once and for all. The problem was that Nicholas got a little too overconfident. I knew that Gillian was someone you never let up on, even for a second. Gillian attacked Nicholas the moment he saw the opening. Just like that, he tore my brother's throat right out. Nicholas still managed to cling on to life until Gillian ripped his heart right out of his chest. Then he turned on Gramps and me. He slaughtered Gramps with a simple swipe of his claws across his throat. Then he turned on me. He hurt me pretty bad, but he refused to kill me. In fact, I had to watch helplessly as he killed Grams too. He left me alive to remind me of how easy it was to decimate my entire family, even rubbing my face in it, that I was the last Taibon. I could have just laid there and cried like I'd been raped. Thornton Gillian had greatly underestimated me. Through my injuries and pain, I forced myself to stand. I mean, I was beyond pissed. All I could think about was how I was going to make that motherfucker wish he'd never been born. So, I worked through my pain until I was fully healed up, trained myself harder than even Gramps had ever trained me. I studied Graham's magic books, made some potions to use in my upcoming fight. I trained and retrained, perfecting my skills. I mean, I'd been at it for months. Finally, my patience was burned. It was either Thornton Gillian or me. I went out hunting for that motherfucker. I fought and destroyed one vampire right after another. Anything to lead me to Thornton Gillian. I even met a master vampire bitch who hated Gillian as much as I did, but she swore she wouldn't tell me where he was unless I let her take me to bed. Yeah, I was that fucking desperate to find Gillian. Her information paid off, and I finally caught up to him. I challenged Gillian to one final showdown. He just laughed at me and told me to go back home, saying I should find a husband to serve and make babies with. But when he learned that I'd all but destroyed his tribe, he knew he had to take me seriously. He promised me he'd kill me, quickly. I was ready for the fucker, and this time put up one hell of a fight. I wasn't going to make the same mistakes Nicholas did in underestimating Thornton Gillian. Otherwise, the Taibon bloodline would be ended. I was the last one who stood between Gillian and his reign of terror. At one point, Gillian slashed me just below my tits and injured me. I was bleeding out fast. It was now or never. If I was dying and going to hell, I was taking this motherfucker with me. I threw the last of my potions at him, which only slowed him down. He grabbed me and told me he was going to make a new tribe, using my womb. But I had one last trick up my sleeve. I pulled one last vial of potion out of my long hair and threw it right in his face. I had to cover my own eyes as the liquid sunlight burned brightly, searing his flesh. He dropped me, giving me one last chance to strike. I kicked him backwards and into a tree. A branch which worked as a thick stake pierced his heart. This alone wouldn't stop him, though. Not a master vampire. I needed to decapitate him, too. As I pulled out my knife, I had forgotten about underestimating Jillian. He grabbed me and pulled me right onto the stake with him. He told me that I would be his wife in hell. Knowing I would die soon, I made my last attack on Jillian. He was going to find out why my grandparents called me Little Devil. I raised my knife and pressed it against his neck with all the strength I had left. I screamed like a fucking lunatic as I moved the knife like a saw and worked it through his neck, through the bone. And finally, the head fucking fell off. I slipped off the stake and fell onto my back. I was so badly hurt. I laughed as I relished my intense pain. I had finally done it. I had killed Thornton Jillian and avenged my family. Knowing that, I closed my eyes and prepared to meet up with Jillian in hell. I was only dimly aware of something dripping quickly onto my chest. When I woke up, it was morning. I felt fucking fantastic. I sat up and saw that I was still wearing the tatters of my old clothes. I saw I was completely healed up. Not even so much as a fucking scar. I growled with excitement and stood up to look at the headless corpse of Thornton Jillian again. Fuck you, I screamed at it. Holy motherfucking shit. I just couldn't help myself. I felt so incredibly powerful. The first thing I noticed was my arms and legs. I fucking had muscular definition. I mean, I really felt incredibly strong. I also realized that I could see much better than I ever had before. What the fuck had happened to me? I pulled Jillian's body off the tree and started a blazing fire that burned his remains until there was nothing but ashes. As I watched, I felt that my clothes were just too constrictive. I tore my jacket away and ripped tatters off my shirt. I kicked my shoes away and tore the legs off my pants. Anything to feel free. Half naked and moaning in satisfaction, I turned and walked away. I went back home and straight up to my bedroom to contemplate my next move. I was now the last Taibon. Everything was mine. The house, the greatly vast family fortune, all of our tools against the supernatural. And then I screamed when I saw the full-length mirror beside my dresser. What the fuck? No! I shot right up off the bed and straight to the mirror. No, this can't be. But it was. I had no reflection. No wonder I felt so powerful. Did Thornton Jillian fucking sire me? Suddenly, I realized something else. It's fucking daylight outside. How the fuck can I be a goddamn vampire? How? I moved to the window again and threw open the curtains. The daylight washed over my body, but I wasn't burning in any way. Then I opened the window and leapt out to the ground below, landing like a cat. I looked up at the bright sun. It actually felt wonderful. And then I felt the fangs growing in my mouth. I even turned my fingers into claws. How the fuck can I be out in the daylight? No fucking vampire can exist during the daytime, not even Thornton Jillian, I yelled to nobody. Then I remembered the drippings I had felt before I passed out. I remembered that I was in a lot of pain from my injuries. And I finally understood. Fuck! I screamed at the sky. Why? What happened? Thornton Jillian's fucking blood had dripped and poured from his open neck and into my chest wounds. Into my heart. Jillian's vampire blood had fucking mixed with my pure Taibon blood, tainting me. But Jillian never drank from me. He never once tasted my blood. I remember that, clearly. Yet a large quantity of his blood dripped and poured into my wounds and turned me. I couldn't cast a reflection or a shadow anymore. I felt so very wild, and I was incredibly strong, and I could be in the daylight. And then I realized I was no longer breathing. Even though I destroyed Thornton Jillian, he still had the last laugh. Or did he? I realized I could still feel my heartbeat. But vampires don't have heartbeats. What the fuck kind of vampire was I? Through the many years that passed between then and now, I found that I would never age a single day. I would be 17 forever. But you would think that I'd have to drink human blood in order to keep my youth and beauty, right? Nope. In fact, as soon as I felt my stomach screaming at me, I tried using my new fangs to drink from a murderer I found in an alleyway. One bite and 2 swallows later, I quickly shoved the fucker away and puked my guts up. The only thing that took that fucking awful taste out of my mouth was several roast chickens from a nearby inn's open flame. I used to eat like a bird, but now I have one hell of a monstrous fucking appetite. Over the years, I toured the world and found masters who could teach me in more ways to fight. One of them even taught me ways to rein in my libido, which also grew, much like my fucking appetite. Yeah, Thornton Gillian really changed my life, didn't he? However, I am still a Taibon. My family mission has not, will never, change. I still hunt creatures of the night who would prey on innocent people. Taking down monsters, witches, and other vampires is so fucking easy now since I'm way stronger and far more powerful than they are. Having Thornton Gillian's blood mixed with my own made me an instant master vampire. I guess I still have to answer that big question. Is this the ultimate fuck you to him? Or for me? Speaking of hunting supernatural scum, let's get back to the present day. While telling my story to Martin behind the counter at Denoyers, I managed to wolf down 5 half-pound cheeseburger platters, complete with fries, lots of Coke refills, and even 2 whole strawberry rhubarb pies. Oh, and 1 large order of onion rings. Both Martin and Denoyer himself watched skinny little me put all that food away. I think Denoyer was wondering if I was going to be able to pay for everything. Not only did I pay for everything, I even gave Martin a very generous tip. And then I turned to see the motherfucker who was sitting by the door leaving. I get up to follow him. "Hey, you left your shoes on the floor," Martin calls out to me. I glance over my shoulder. I'll be back for them. I give him my sexy smile again. And you. I head back out into the blizzard. Sure enough, the motherfucker's waiting for me. "You really didn't think I'd fucking find you, Gillian? Please." Richland Gillian is the younger brother of Thornton. Not quite a master vampire himself, just yet, but he's getting up there. "Will you never relent, Taibon?" Richland yells. I raise my hands, which are now claws. I put my vampire face on. "Suck my dick!" Then I howl a battle cry and leap right at him. It's too fucking snowy for the people inside Denoyers to see the two of us fight it out. Richland Gillian has been dodging and evading me for a good year now. Every fucking time I'd catch up to him, he'd always use my need to save innocence to get away. He loves to call it my greatest weakness. But no, I'm a Taibon, and that's what Taibons do. But I finally got this motherfucker right where I want him. Richland is quite strong. He's definitely a bigger man than what his brother Thornton was, though nowhere near as powerful. Remember, Thornton was a master vampire. Richland claws me, but I have one hell of a healing factor. When Richland realizes he can't possibly win, he tries to escape. "Nope, don't even think it," I tell him. "No innocence for you to throw in front of me this time." He roars one last roar as he tries to slash my throat with his claws, but I see it coming a mile away. I snatch his wrist and punch him right in the chest, enough for me to break through his chest cavity and seize his heart. Then I pull it out and pulp the thing right in my hands. The body falls over, and that's all she wrote. Just to make sure, however, I glare at the body and make sure it bursts into flames. I've never been able to figure out how to change form, if I can even do that. I can, however, create fog or mist, command animals and insects, and even make fire appear. When Richland Gillian is finally ashes and blowing away in the blizzard, I morph my face and hands back into human again. I move to the lake across the road from Denoyers and wash the blood off my arms and hands. When I'm finished, I turn and head back to Denoyers. I do have to reclaim my shoes, and a certain counter guy. When I come back in, I see some nerdy librarian bitch talking to Martin. They both turn to look at me. "Hey, you came back!" Martin exclaims. "Am I interrupting something here?" I ask. Martin shakes his head. "Not at all. I'm about done here, and my little sister came by to get me. This is Einstein. Her real name is Aileen." I look at the librarian. Ah, little sister. Of course you are. Wow, were you really hanging around outside dressed like that? Einstein asks in amazement. Still a free country, right? I reply. Then Denoyer calls out from behind the counter. Martin, Sheila's here now. She'll relieve you shortly. Get home safe now. Martin smiles and looks at me. Still wanna come home with me? I give him my sexiest smile again. Martin's sound asleep as I slip out of bed and put my tatters back on. I pick up my shoes and quietly slip out of the bedroom. Martin definitely satisfied me. Now it's time to get the fuck out of Strickfield and move on to another town. Another adventure. Another malevolent motherfucker to destroy. Now, you weren't thinking of just leaving my brother, were you, Bella? A familiar voice calls out as I reach the front door. The lights turn on, revealing the librarian, Martin's little sister, Aileen Donnerly. Einstein. What the fuck were you doing? Waiting up for me? I snap. I needed to get laid. I liked your brother. We both got what we wanted. No commitments. I'm gone. Einstein gets right to the point. My brother doesn't just take anyone to bed. You must have really been special to him. I'm not going to let you hurt him like that. I roll my eyes. What do you want from me, Einstein? To wear his fucking ring? Einstein folds her arms in front of her. I want for you to stop running and settle down here. I want for you to be good for Martin. She raises her eyebrow. I think we could even be great friends, you and me. I laugh now. What motherfucking planet are you from? I don't live in Strickfield. I don't even fucking belong here. I don't belong anywhere, really. You're a vampire, right? Wow. Subtle, ain't she? Before I can ask how she knows, she points to a nearby mirror. Okay, so? I roll my eyes again. I didn't kill Martin, okay? I don't even drink blood. Nasty fucking shit. Oh, I know you didn't, Einstein says. But my big brother's really into you. You're staying, Bella, and on Monday morning, you're coming to school with me. Before I can tell her to go fuck herself, she quickly unfolds her arms and raises her finger. You walk in the daylight, right? So it's settled. You're coming to school with me on Monday. She laughs a little. Now it's my turn to fold my arms in front of me. What makes you so goddamn sure that I'm coming to school with you? I drop my arms. Please, Einie, fucking enlighten me. She gives me a cute little smile. No, not the kind that says she's got me right where she wants me. It's the kind of cute little smile that belongs to a cute little face like hers. Because I believe the girls who were on the cheerleading squad at Strickfield High School are also vampires. Maybe they're not like you, but they are vampires, possibly all 6 of them. I raise my finger. Let me stop you right there, Einie. As far as I know, I'm the only one who can walk in the daylight. How the fuck can these so-called vampire twats walk the halls and attend classes? Hello? Sunlight comes in through pretty much every fucking classroom window at a school. Einstein shakes her head. Oh, I don't believe they're like you, Bella, but they must be doing something to be able to walk around during the daylight, and I don't think they're wearing sunblock. I nod in agreement. There are very few ways vamps can move around during the daylight, but nothing they can do on their own. They need outside sources, if you will, and damn sure not fucking sunblock. And Einstein fucking smiles. The little bitch knows she's got my attention. I'll give you some of my clothes and shoes. I think we're the same size. I glare at her now. If you're fucking lying to me about this, Einie, I'm going to take you and offer you as a free meal to other vamps. But I can tell she's not lying. I just don't want to stay here in this fucking village is all. Fine. I'll go to school with you on Monday morning. Fuck! Einstein smiles. That means you're also spending the rest of the weekend with us. Guess you better head back upstairs then. Bells. Good night. I give her a dirty look and raise my middle finger before I turn and head back upstairs. Martin's awake when I enter his room again. Yeah, he knows I was about to leave him sad and lonely. I need to fix this. Fast. I get naked again, climb back into bed, and we screw some more. Might as well occupy my time since I don't really sleep. and Monday is several hours away yet. Bella's Holiday by Rob Fields. And here we are. Aini and I just crossed into the huge megalopolis known as Shore City. You know what? I don't even think I remember the last time I was here. Let's just say I'd never even heard of Strickfield. Yeah, it's been that long ago. As far as the distance between Strickfield and Shore City, it's at least 500 miles. I've been driving our rental car since we left Strickfield. Aini's sitting next to me and giving me directions. After several long hours and some stops, we finally pull into the driveway of Grandma Donnerly's house. I get out of the car and look at my surroundings. I can see the beach as I look past Grandma Donnerly's. I can even hear the sounds of people having a good time. Aini comes up beside me. "Bells, you okay?" I sigh and look up at the sky. Why do I do it? Why do I let you talk me into doing shit? I turn to face her. First, I let you talk me into staying in Strickfield. Next, you and I both end up on the cheerleading squad at Strickfield High. And now that school's out for the summer, I let you talk me into coming all the way to Shore City for a week of vacation. Of all things. "What's wrong with taking a vacation?" Aini asks. I grab Aini and shake her a little. "Because neither of us can fucking drive a car." I let her go. "You're goddamn lucky I learned fast. We're really lucky we never got pulled over, and fuck all those speed limits." I sigh. "The point is, I don't take vacations, Aini. I just don't." "And here you are," she reminds me in her mousy voice. Why did I agree to drive us all the way to Shore City? 3 days ago, Aini's grandma calls her out of the blue and wants to see her. Right away, she asks her grandma if she can bring me along. She agrees right away, and things fell into place from there. Almost. Turned out neither of us ever learned how to drive a car. Aini tried calling a taxi service, but the trip would be quite costly. So Aini talked me into driving a rental car. Let's just say I had a few, close calls. Believe it or not, it's really quite easy when you get it down. It's just those fucking speed limits that piss me off. So I said fuck it and got us here doing a full 100. Aini and I got our bags out of the car, and then the front door opens. "Aileen, you finally made it." Aileen is Aini's real name. I call her Aini because her older brother Martin calls her Einstein on the count of her big brain. I just shorten Einstein by calling her Aini. She returns the favor by calling me Bells. Aini and her grandma hug. "It's nice to see you again, Grandma." Grandma Donnerly is in her mid-60s and has a thin frame with silver hair. "And you must be Bella. Aileen has told me so much about you." I was just gonna shake hands with her, but she pulls me in and hugs me. When we finish, she just looks at me. "You are so cold. Do you need some coffee or some hot chocolate?" I smile a little. "I'm fine, ma'am." Grandma Donnerly invites both of us inside. She's got the air conditioning running. She shows Aini to her room. As she's getting settled in, Grandma Donnerly brings me to the basement. "I set you up down here. I hope you don't mind." "I'm not choosy," I reply. Turns out she prepared a couch down here. It's nice and cool. There's even a small shower cabinet for me. "It's perfect," I tell her and put my duffel down. She nods and heads back upstairs. After I unpack, I come back upstairs to see the Donnerlys at the kitchen table. I'm entering the kitchen when Grandma Donnerly gasps. She points right at me. "No!" "Grandma, what?" Aini asks. The old woman gets up, still pointing at me. You don't have a reflection." And I had forgotten about checking for mirrors and avoiding them. This is part of the reason why I don't go on vacations. Now Aini's grandma knows I'm a vampire. "You're a believer?" I say. "I've met your kind before," she replies, contempt in her voice. I revoke my invitation. Grandma, stop, Aini tells her. Bells isn't like other vampires. She's been my dearest friend for months. She considers Aini. Then she looks at me and makes another realization. You walk in the daylight? I'm the only one who can, I reply. When I killed a master vampire, I was hurt too. His blood mixed with mine and made me what I am. I'm not malevolent, and I won't hurt you. And you're friends with my grandbaby? She asks in amazement. Aini's my only friend, I admit. She talked me into coming here with her. If you don't want me here, I'll leave. I won't stay where I'm not welcome. Grandma Donnerly looks at her granddaughter. You said she was staying with you. And Martin, Aini adds. Grandma Donnerly really shows contempt now as she looks at me. Aileen told me you're Martin's girlfriend. Well, I wouldn't entirely say that, I stammer. She raises her finger. Break up with him. That boy has been nothing but trouble since he was old enough to walk and talk. If you don't know now, you'll know soon enough. I look at her solemnly. Is there something you want to tell me? She takes my hand in hers. You don't know Martin as well as you think. He can never stay out of trouble. He looks for any excuse to cause trouble. Kids at school called him Mean Martin, and with good reason. I won't let him come here. He's not welcome. He'll never be welcome. Break up with him. A leopard like him never changes his spots. I listen to her heartbeat and know she's telling the truth. I realize I'll have to watch Martin closely when I return to Strickfield. I'll have to talk to Aini about this later. Grandma Donnerly lets go of my hand. You may stay. I don't know how I'll feed you, though. I don't have any blood for you. I don't drink blood, I tell her. But you can't feed me anyway. I'll eat you out of house and home. Aini said there's plenty of good buffets I can eat at. I explained to Grandma Donnerly why I don't drink blood and how I have to eat lots of food to compensate for all the energy I use. Just the same, Grandma Donnerly insists on feeding me, even when I told her about how I devoured at least 20 roast chickens for my first meal as a vampire. I watch the Donnerlys talk some more. Grandma Donnerly tells Aini that she should just leave Strickfield and come move in with her. Leave Martin behind. Or if you don't want to live with me, you know you have other family here. You could even live with your 3 cousins. They have a house in this neighborhood. I'm sure they'd enjoy having you to live with them. The more I'm hearing the old woman talk negatively about Martin, the more I'm really wondering. Aini and I are walking out onto the beach now. Grandma Donnerly had to run some errands and said she'd be back in a while. We're both wearing bikinis and walking on the sand. Where do you want to set up, Bells? Aini asks. I guess anywhere's fine, I reply. Suddenly, my vampire senses make me raise my hand and snatch the volleyball that would have hit me in the back of the head. Then I turn around to see 3 girls heading our way. Yeah, that's our volleyball, bitch, the busty blonde snaps. You can give it back now, a busty brunette adds rudely. I raise an eyelid. Oh, you want this back, huh? A dark-skinned girl gets in my face. You hard of hearing, bitch? I smirk. You want this ball back. Well, go get it. Then I toss the ball up and give it a nice little love tap to send it flying way down the beach. The bitches turn around and race after it, screaming obscenities at me as they're leaving. You just know those girls are going to be back, Aini tells me. Fuck them. We walk again and find our spot to set up our beach towels. And then, it's not long before we have another surprise. You! Aini shrieks. No way! You're here too, Aileen? The voice sounds familiar. I turn to see. How did you end up here? I ask Eddie Richter. He's known as Pee-wee in Strickfield athletics. Eddie gawks. Bella Taibon? You too? You know Aini and I are joined at the hip, I joke. Eddie laughs a little. Then he points in a direction. My buddy's parents have a place here. They said he could use it whenever he wanted, so we came over here and hit the beach after school was out for the summer. Why'd you two come here? Aini explains that her grandma invited her to come over, and she invited me to come with her. Just then, Eddie's friends approach him. They're all at least a head taller than him. Guess he's nicknamed Pee-wee for a reason. For a mortal, he's impressed me with what a fast little fucker he is. The other boys recognize us from the Strickfield High cheerleading squad and invite us to play volleyball with them. So it's 3 jocks and 1 cheerleader to a team. We play volleyball for a while. Then some storm clouds quickly gather. The winds pick up and it starts raining. Some people run to take shelter while others just stay on the beach. And then the screaming starts. I turn and run in the direction people are running away from. The water. When I get there, I see a body's washed up onto the sand. I get on one knee and examine it. I'm already seeing things here that tell me I've got work to do here in Shore City. Through my vampire hearing, I can hear Aini's little feet as she's almost on me. Bells, what? Oh, do you know what that is? This is easily a werewolf attack. I point to the bite marks. 3 of them for sure. And last night was the first night of the full moon. 2 more nights, Aini deduces. Tonight and tomorrow night. Right. That means we don't have much time to get to the bottom of this. I point to the fangs. This person was a vampire. Human fangs aren't normally this long. Some police officers come along and rudely tell us to fuck off. I watch them look at the body and laugh to myself as they'll try and fail miserably to determine the cause of death. They won't find the vampire teeth since I snatched them up. Don't need mortals asking questions they shouldn't be asking. What's on your mind, Bells? Aini asks. I'm thinking those werewolves will be back tonight. Maybe a nice walk on the beach is in order. Then I raise my eyebrow to her a little. Did you happen to bring the toys? Aini gives me a wicked smirk. I always bring the toys. Aini's been my partner in crime for a while now. We do our day stuff. At night, we go out looking for trouble. We often find trouble and stop it. Then we return home. Aini goes to bed. I fuck Martin. Still remembering what Grandma Donnerly told me. I may have to rethink that last part. Aini, are there any problems between you and Martin? I ask. Aini just gives me a sad look. Grandma talked to you, didn't she? You were there. She told me Martin is trouble. She didn't say what. She also said Martin wasn't welcome at her house. She told me to stop seeing him. Aini gets defensive. You and Martin just have sex. You're not really in a relationship with him. I groan. I was hoping to get something out of Aini, but I can see she's not going to tell me anything. Her heartbeat tells me she's very angry. I can't tell if I've upset her or if it's something she's keeping inside. I won't use glam on her. If she wants to tell me, then she'll tell me when she's ready. Night comes. Aini and I put our bikinis back on and head to the beach. It's so easy to get onto the sand from Grandma Donnerly's backyard. Speaking of whom, I can't believe she prepared all that food just for me. I did tell her I could eat. The least I could do was help with the dishes, since she wouldn't accept payment. There were some kids out here, though not nearly as many as during the day. The full moon is nice and bright. There's a gentle breeze and the water's a little wavy. As long as I see people I've come in contact with, then I scratch them off as suspects. Werewolves can't change back and forth at will. When it's a full moon, they change whether they want to or not. The werewolves are already out and prowling. I managed to get faint scents off the body from this afternoon. Won't be much to go on, but it's better than nothing. You think we'll find anything, Bells? Aini asks. I'm quite optimistic, I reply. Bella, Aileen, over here, a voice calls out. We look to see Eddie Richter sitting at a fire on the sand and walk over to him. Just you out here tonight? I ask him. My buddies went back to the house, Eddie replies. They forgot something, didn't say what. Have a seat. We sit with Eddie and talk with him. You know, it's a shame you two graduated, Eddie tells us. I kinda liked watching you two on the squad. We'll be back, Aini replies. I missed too many days with being sick this school year, and Bells just didn't feel like coming to school, I pick up. So I got a repeat senior year with Aini. The truth is, I had to care for her when she was sick and Martin had to work. Eddie smirks and shakes his head a little. The bad schoolgirl. A name that pretty much every student calls me. To be honest, I really like it. Bad as I want to be, honey, I reply. He fully smiles now. No wonder Principal Van Diest is always riding you. I fully smile back, only for me to keep throwing him off. You ain't taming this bitch. The three of us talk some more, and then I catch whiffs of those faint smells I got earlier. Now I'm hearing some screaming. I turn and see 3 werewolves have hit the beach. Aini grabs Eddie. Come on, we gotta run. The 2 of them get away. Then I run towards the werewolves, vamping out as I do. I'm so looking forward to this. I fucking hate werewolves. The werewolves howl at the full moon and then come at me. These beasts are gonna be strong, but I can match power with them. I can beat the living shit out of all of them. These fuckers keep trying to bite me, but I just keep knocking their asses back. I'm fucking loving this. Most importantly, I'm keeping their attention on me while other mortals are getting away. In their animal minds, all they want to do is tear me apart. Unless they're seriously hurt, they know they're dying, or they know sunrise is coming, they're gonna keep coming after me as prey. Well, they did come right for me. That means I met and pissed off somebody here in Shore City. I'm already compiling a list of suspects I've come across. Guess I'm gonna have some work to do tomorrow during the daylight hours. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell didn't I just kill those motherfuckers? Yes, they'd turn back into their human forms immediately, but I wouldn't get the whole story. So it looks like I'm gonna have to do the next best thing. As my new playmates come at me again, I strike with a little more force and knock their asses out. Now comes the not-so-fun part. The waiting game. I guess I can enjoy the view of the water and feel the gentle breezes while I'm waiting. Time to use some of Aini's toys. I pull out some special zip ties she made in her mad scientist lab back at her house, in her basement. These particular zip ties are really high tensile strength. You can't get these at your local hardware store. They're strong enough to piss off these werewolves once I apply them. Aini keeps improving on the formula, so I imagine it's only gonna be a matter of time before these things can secure even me, or other master vampires. As I'm about to secure the first werewolf, my senses go critical. I don't have time to react as a silver werewolf crashes into me and takes me down. Those other 3 were easy to take on, but this one is an alpha. You don't see too many of these around, due to the fact that they don't last as long as vampires. But here's one now, pissed off as fuck. The 2 of us fight it out. When the other werewolves come too, the distraction is enough for the alpha to hit me hard enough to daze me. I barely feel the alpha getting on top of me before I hear the gunshots. Oh yeah, I guess they understand gunshots also, especially with the whole silver bullets thing. I wake up and find myself down in Grandma Donnerly's basement. Aini's right there with me. Bells? You're finally awake. Yeah, she's quite happy right now. Yeah, I got lucky, I reply. You missed it. I tell her about the alpha werewolf that showed up. So, you're saying werewolves are like vampires? The older they get, the more powerful they become? She translates. Pretty much, yeah. Given the strength and speed of the alpha and the silver coat, this one's been around for a very long time. Then Aine's quick on something else. We only have one more night, Bells. Tonight. I know. I may have my work cut out for me. And maybe not. You have suspects? She asks. Perhaps. We gotta be beach babes again today, Aine. You up for it? Aine glares at me. I am not a beach babe. Look at me. I'm a scrawny little thing. I smirk and look my friend in the face. I think Eddie Richter would disagree. He's definitely into you. Aine gasps. Oh no, Bells, don't you dare. We argue about it for a little bit. Then I compliment Aine on her cute little face and tell her that having bigger tits isn't always better. I mean, I certainly don't have them myself. She finally lets her guard down and agrees to come on the beach with me. One more time. After breakfast, we step onto the sand again in our bikinis. See, Aine, there are plenty of guys checking you out, I say. No, they're checking you out, Bells. She disagrees. I'm not the one with the flowing long blonde hair and sexy body. Watch and learn. Throughout the day, Aine realizes that I'm not the only one people are checking out. When I ask her to get lemonade for us at a stand, she's quickly surprised that guys are hitting on her. Aine's got a thin frame, but she's not a skeleton. She's also got that cute face and great smile. And no, I definitely did not glam these guys. Aine returns with the lemonade. You were right, Bells. She sits down. But I just can't go out with anybody. I just can't. I don't have a long-term future with anybody. I smile. Aine, you'll make someone a perfect wife. She gets upset fast. You don't understand. Maybe these other people can think long-term. I can't. I'm about to ask her why when my senses flare up. I easily lift my hand and snatch the volleyball that was intended to hit me again. I stand up and face those 3 bitches from yesterday. You know, you 3 seem to have a difficult time keeping your fucking ball to yourselves. Now I'm making calculations in my head. I'm also picking up some familiar scents. Just then, we're joined by Eddie Richter and his friends. It doesn't take long for the beach bitches and the Strickfield jocks to get into it, with Aine and me caught in the middle. And then it happens. We end up in a full-scale volleyball game. It's Eddie, his friends, and me on one side. The bitches demand to have Aine on their side and get one more girl to come and join them. Believe me when I say we don't end up playing a friendly game of volleyball. The 3 bitches are clearly targeting me and Eddie. It surprises me how they're talking so nicely to Aine, like she's always been one of them. In fact, they even tell her their names. But Aine and the other girl are the only ones who play fair on their side. The bitches get really pissed off when they try to put the ball over the net, and I'm right there to slam it down to the sand. Yeah, I'm using my vampire strength, but fuck these bitches. I've been watching these big breasties closely. In fact, I think I've just broken this mystery wide open. I know what's going on now. We win the game and Eddie and his friends take off. The bitches quickly move and come at me. You don't belong here, you fucking leech. Lila, the big-breasted blonde, snaps in my face. This is our turf. Go home. I smirk. You 3 can suck my dick, and I'll fucking piss where I please. I lean in and look Lila right in the face. Or did you 3 already mark your territories? Raylene, the big-breasted brunette, glares at me now. Tonight, vampire. The dark-skinned girl, Ember, practically growls at me. You're dead, bloodsucker. Challenge accepted, I reply. Coming, Aine? The bitches are reluctant to let Aine come with me, but she makes that choice herself and comes to me. The 2 of us leave. Bells? What's going on? Aine asks when we're far enough away. Raylene called you a vampire. Oh, they know. And I know. The problem is, I know everything now. I look at her with sadness. You're not going to like what I'm about to tell you. As soon as we get in the house, Aini points right at Grandma Donnerly. What in the actual fuck have you been keeping from me? I know Aini well enough to know she's really pissed off when she starts dropping F-bombs. Then Grandma Donnerly gives me an accusing look. What did you tell her, vampire? I glare at her. The truth. Aini tightens her little fists. Grandma Donnerly, I really thought I could trust you. I really thought you cared. That's why I kept in contact with you. That's why I kept coming to see you. Because I love you, Helene, she replies. I just want you to leave that troublesome Martin. Seriously, I don't know why you stay with him. I know he's your brother and the last in your immediate family. He's also the reason you're... Werewolves! Aini screams. You want to turn me into a werewolf? You want to turn me into a killer? She calms down a little. Oh, and I did meet Lila, Raylene, and Ember. Belle's told me they're my cousins. And they're werewolves too. Grandma Donnerly glares at me with hatred now. I revoke my invitation, Bella. You are no longer welcome in my house. I hate to tell you, but all the vampire weaknesses you know about won't work on me. Or did you forget that I walk in the daylight and eat normal food? In other words, I don't need an invite to enter a person's house. Just then, Lila, Raylene, and Ember appear. Lila points at me. You've caused nothing but trouble ever since you got here, vampire. It's no wonder that vampires and werewolves are natural enemies. I quickly pull Aini behind me. I'm not the one killing people here. In fact, I save lives. I may be a master vampire, but I'm still a Taibon. It's still the family business to take down threats against mortals. You killed people here, and I can't let that slide. There are no good vampires, Ember counters. It's because of you that our kind can't flourish. Then I realize it's dark. The full moon will be evident soon. Just give me my grandbaby and your death will be swift, Grandma Donnerly tells me. No, I won't do this, Aini tells her. I won't become a killer. I'll die first. Raylene gasps. Aileen, you're our blood. You'd choose this vampire filth over your own family? Aini tightens her jaw. Belle's is my family, and she doesn't kill innocent people. I had to admit I never saw that coming. Wow. I never knew Aini thought so highly of me. We've been friends for several months and I can't get choked up right now. Grandma Donnerly tells her other granddaughters, I want this vampire destroyed. I do not want Aileen harmed. Maybe just a little scratch. Do you hear me? Yes, Grandma Donnerly, the bitches say in unison. The full moon is evident when the four of them start changing into werewolves. I turn quickly, snatch up Aini, and get us the fuck out of that house. I don't take us back to the beach since I can hear mortals there. No, I need to keep this between me and them. Bells, don't let them turn me, Aini cries. Over my fucking dead body, I promise her. I can hear the werewolves pursuing us. They have our scents. I have to stay ahead of them until I can get us far away from other mortals. I can leap far distances, and I can even run very fast, faster than even Pee Wee Richter on his best day. But a werewolf would still ultimately catch up to me. Sucks to be me, and not able to fly. I manage to make it to some open wilderness where we can fight. When I land, I let go of Aini and get ready. Both werewolves and vampires have night vision. I don't know how theirs works, but for me, the darkness is still daylight. The four werewolves are on me now. Grandma Donnerly herself's gotta face me head on, instead of going cheap like last time. I can still knock her away, but she recovers a lot faster than her granddaughters. Aini throws me her backpack. Bells! Use the toys! I open it and pull out the launchers that she made for when we face other vampires. Aini and I did make a little swap in these this afternoon. I quickly secure them to my forearms as I'm running. When I have them on, I turn and face the werewolves. Aini comes up beside me with her own launchers. Like I said, this mousy girl is my partner in crime. Aini also has her night vision glasses on. We both take aim and fire. Ember and Lila both fall when we sink silver stakes right through their hearts. I turn and fire my other one at Raylene to kill her. Now that just leaves Grandma Donnerly. I put Aini behind me and prepare to fight her, but Aini moves in front of me. This is my fight, Bells. I raise my hands in front of me and back off. Aini aims her last silver stake. This really hurts, Grandma. I know you probably don't understand me right now. She shakes her head a little. I can't be like you. I know I'll die one day, but I'm not going to be a killer just to live. Be at peace, Grandma. I love you. As Grandma Donnerly turns to jump at me, Aini leaps in front of me and puts her down. The silver werewolf falls onto her side. After Aini and I get up, we see the werewolves are becoming human again. Aini and I work to make sure they never return to life ever again. Aini and I are on our way back to Strickfield. Aini's still very sad. Not that I blame her. There are things I really want to ask her. I'm sorry, Aini, I say. About everything. Aini takes my hand. I still choose you, Bells. At least I always know where I stand with you. You're always honest with me. Grandma Donnerly kept horrible secrets from me. Then I have an opening. Honesty works both ways, you know. She sighs. I want to tell you everything. It still hurts me to think about it. Please, not now. I will tell you, just not now. I squeeze Aini's hand. You tell me when you're ready then. Aini nods. I know from now on, I'm going to be watching Martin more closely. In the meantime, I'm driving 100 miles per hour back to Strickfield. Homecoming by Rob Fields. Perspective, Bella. Aini and I couldn't get out of Strickfield High School fast enough. As soon as that bell to end the school day rang, Aini and I shot up out of our seats and were right out the side doors. We're really going to do this, Bells? She asks me in her mousy voice. What, get the fuck out of Strickfield for Thanksgiving? You damn betcha. I raise my finger. I haven't even told you the best part. You keep saying it's going to be a surprise. Well, prepare to be surprised, Aini. I open my mouth to tell her, but it seems Aini's hearing me speak with the voice of Principal Matthew Van Diest. Bella Taibon, you stop right there, right there! I sigh and look up to the cloudy sky and mutter, God damn it. Then I lower my eyes to see our esteemed school leader marching right at Aini and me. I give him a very toothy smile. Why, Matthew, how the hell are you today? Principal Van Diest sticks his finger right in my face. You are supposed to be walking to detention hall right now. You are not going to just walk on home like you... I swear, all day every student and teacher has been gawking at my new outfit. I'm wearing a black leather crop top that kinda looks like a bra and matching short shorts. I actually took Aini's advice and wore a pair of her heeled platform sandals. My long, dirty blonde hair almost flows like a cape in the breeze. I'm still smiling for him. As always, he's undressing me with his eyes. Thanks to my vampire hearing, I can hear his heart pounding. Why do you have to be so madly in love with me, Matthew? I'm thinking. Problem is, I don't really have any room to talk. I can't deny there's the very real possibility that I reciprocate his feelings. Heavy sigh. Why me? Well, Matthew, I think we both know I ain't going anywhere near detention hall, I tell him flatly. Then I raise my finger. But I'll be more than happy to... No, Bella. You have to get back in there and serve it right now, Van Diest tells me. I caught you red-handed flipping a teacher off, even if his back was turned to you. Now I laugh and flip him off. How many times have I done this very thing to you? You never once gave me a detention for it. Yet, I flip off that fucking blowhard of a science teacher and you're gonna send me to detention for that? Please. Van Diest starts lecturing me. I move my hands up and into my hair. Now he's stammering when I'm using my tight body to mesmerize him. Okay, I admit I'm being a flirt, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying it just as much as him. When I lower my hands, he grabs them and takes them in his. His blue eyes meet my red ones. I actually feel myself soften up and my face get hot. Damn it, I'm fucking blushing. Then Aini quickly tells Van Diest that she's not feeling very well and that I've got to get her home. I give him my look that says, she ain't lying. Come on, just for today, Matthew, I say. I promise I'll serve it on Monday after school before going to cheerleading practice. But I've got to get Aini home, please. When he still seems to refuse me, I have no choice. I lean in and give him a gentle peck on the lips. Bad move, Bella. That just made you blush even more. But at least Van Diest is finally letting go of my hands. Only to wrap his arms around me. I can't help myself and wrap my arms around him. Then we share a gentle, passionate kiss. When the kiss is done, we just look at each other. My face is really hot now. Okay, Bella, since it's Thanksgiving, I'll give you a pass. This time. He glances at Aini. Go ahead and get her home. Then he does look at her. Hope you get better over Thanksgiving break. Thank you, sir, Aini says. Aini and I turn away from Van Diest after wishing him a happy Thanksgiving. I can tell she's going to give me hell about kissing Van Diest later. How are you feeling? I ask her. I'll make it home, but I think I've got a fever, she tells me. I've got one last treatment I can try that may make you well again for a time, but I don't know how long it'll last. I just wish my body didn't build tolerances against your remedies, Aini complains. You and me both. Aini's a trooper and makes the walk home. We come inside and see Martin's not here. That's Aini's older brother. Always nice when that motherfucker ain't home. The way Aini resents Martin, I've come to believe he's the reason why she's sick. After I get Aini upstairs to her bed, I come back downstairs and mix up the last remedy I can remember Graham's teaching me from back in the day. Of course, I'm talking about the late 1800s, where I'm originally from. Graham's taught me a lot about using Taibon magic. My older brother Nicholas wasn't interested in learning from Graham's, and I tighten my fists at the thought of her. God damn you, Cassie, I hiss. I fucking hate you. I'm so fucking glad you're dead. I would tell you about Cassie, but now's not really the best time. Anyway, she really wasn't interested in learning from Graham's either. Since I was the little devil in our family, I figured learning from Graham's would add to my craftiness even more. I learned so much from her, but not nearly enough since the day came when Thornton Gillian, a powerful master vampire, came hunting for us. Nicholas got really fucking overconfident and thought he could take down Gillian by himself. I know he was my older brother, but what an idiot. And Cassie never lifted a finger to help Nicholas. She even watched as Gillian killed Gramps. Gramps and I both tried to fight him off, as Cassie just walked away. Gillian killed Gramps, and then beat me within an inch of my life. Thornton Gillian deliberately let me live. He said I would be the last Taibon, and for me to go find a husband to rule over me and make babies with. He told me next time we crossed paths, he would kill me. Graham's magic lessons came in handy when I prepared to fight him myself after months and months of training, not to mention having to sleep with a female master vampire just to learn his whereabouts. I barely defeated Gillian thanks to the lessons both Graham's and Gramps taught me, but I was hurt very badly. When I fell, Jillian's blood mixed with my pure Taibon blood and transformed me into a very unique version of a master vampire. I've lived for more than 100 years being all alone, except when I'd need a man to satisfy my libido. Not only did Jillian's blood amp up my sex drive, it made me feral. This is why I dress very slutty all the time. Then there's all the food I eat in order to fuel my power, and I am very powerful. Then I cry, knowing Aini ain't nearby to see me. Aileen Donnerly is the only real friend I have right now. I call her Aini because it's short for Einstein. Her older brother Martin called her that on account of her very gifted intelligence. Anyway, we didn't start off as friends, but the longer the two of us hung out together and did things, the closer we became, especially when I learned she was sick. In truth, Aini probably should have been dead months ago. It was the remedies I learned from Grams that prolonged her life. I believe Aini has AIDS. How she got it, I don't know. She hasn't told me as of yet, but I feel she will when she's ready. Again, I'm quite sure Martin was responsible. No, he didn't give it to her himself, but he must have done something that caused her to become sick. I've never cried for someone the way I'm crying for Aini. Not since my grandparents died. And for the record, we ain't lovers. That's not how our friendship works. I just know I've gotten too close to this mortal, especially when I said I would never become close to any mortals after I became a master vampire. But it happened, you know? I get the crying out of my system and finish the remedy. This one I remembered out of Graham's book is the most powerful one yet. It's also the last one I know. It's time to give Aini the remedy and spring the surprise on her. I head up to her room and find her waiting for me. You okay, Bells? Shit. I never wiped my tears. It's nothing, Aini. Here, I created these new capsules for you. It's powerful stuff. Start off with one and we'll go from there. Aini obeys and takes a capsule with water. After minutes have passed, she starts feeling much better. Then I look at her. I'm taking you home for Thanksgiving. She gives me wide eyes. Your house? I nod. I need to go look through Graham's books for more remedies and possible spells that may help you. I don't know how long this last one will last, and I don't know any more remedies at all. Don't worry, we'll be back here in Strickfield in time to return to school on Monday. Also, I'll make us a hell of a Thanksgiving dinner, just the way Graham's used to. We'll just have to do some shopping along the way. Aini smiles just a little. Okay, when are we leaving? As soon as possible, if you feel well enough. She gets out of bed. I'm feeling much better now. Let's go. Anything beats having to stay here with Martin. We didn't have any problems getting a rental car. Thankfully, the place we get them never asks for a driver's license since neither Aini nor me has one. Neither of us learned how to drive. Actually, scratch that. When Aini and I went to Shore City over the summer, I had to learn, and fast. Now I'm driving a good 100 miles an hour. Seriously, fuck these stupid speed limits. It took a few seconds to get used to this car. After that, it was like riding a bike. No, scratch that. I've never even ridden a bike. Yeah, I'm not used to a lot of modern technology. This little devil is as old school as can be, as Aini will learn soon. Along the way, we made some stops. I had to buy lots and lots of turkeys and plenty of stuff to make the sides. I promised Aini a meal like Graham's made, and I'm gonna give it to her. After driving hundreds of miles, I surprise Aini by turning off the headlights. Bells? Aini mutters. Trust me, I tell her. My house is off the beaten path, literally. A good 5 miles later, I turn off the road and am driving through the grass. Thanks to my vampire vision, I don't have any problem seeing in the darkness whatsoever. What time is it? I ask. Aini takes out her smartphone. Almost midnight. Are we really going to be off the road? I'm afraid so. You see, my house doesn't have a road or a driveway. Never did. I lightly smack her shoulder. Have faith. It's another 15 or so minutes of driving until we're finally there. Wow, there really is a house here, Aini asks. It's dark, but I can see how big it is. It's not a mansion like what those Mirrans back in Strickfield have, but this is where Gramps and Grams raised me. Also, I was born here. As soon as we get out of the car, I move around to Aini and give her a jar. It lights up in her hands. It's liquid sunlight. Against Thornton Gillian that night, it proved to be a very powerful weapon. But in your hands, it'll be the brightest lantern you've ever carried. Don't worry. It won't burn you as long as it stays in the jar. Where are we, Bells? She asks me. This is the area known as Ravenhenge, I tell her. You'll never find it on any map. In fact, the barriers of invisibility keep it so that outsiders can't see it whatsoever. The only reason you can is because you're with me. I bring Aini into the house. The only way to turn on any lights is to use my cheap parlor tricks to light torches. Wow, Aini exclaims. It's like going back in time. You'd better believe it. Also, your smartphone's the only modern convenience you got here. I'm surprised you're even getting any signal here. Anyway, there's no phone line and no internet. There ain't even TV here. In fact, the last time I was at this house was back in 1889. Aini gulps. I can't believe you really grew up here, Bells. I mean, it seems like you and your family were cut off from the rest of the world. Okay, maybe that's the wrong thing to say and everything, but no, you're right, Aini, I confirm. That's exactly what Bella Taibon had in mind when this house was built. Let's just say he's my Gramps, but with a lot of greats in front of it. I turn to her. So, you want me to give you the grand tour, or are you tired from the drive? If you need to sleep, I'll take you to the most comfortable bed you'll ever sleep on. Perspective, Aileen. At first, I was contemplating maybe going to bed. However, I'm actually feeling pretty good still. Whatever you whipped up back at my house is still making me feel strong. I'd love to see your house, Bells. She nods once. Okay, you're in for quite the tour. Carry your liquid sunlight with you if you want, but I can light more torches as we go through the rooms. We'll end our tour in the library. Bells takes me through one magnificent room after another. The house has 2 big floors. All of the bedrooms are upstairs. Much to my surprise, not everything is old school. For example, the bathrooms we come by have running water. There are even showers in a few of them with tubs in the others. I can give you a room by one of these bathrooms if you want. This way you're by a shower, Bells said, seeing my excitement. Yeah, we may be as old school can be, but we weren't cave people. I never said you were, I quickly say. Aini, lighten up. Just a little humor on my part. I could tell Bells was avoiding talking about it, but I have to know. You kissed Principal Van Diest. She sighs. I know, I'm sorry. She turns to look at me. I still won't choose him over you. But you still have feelings for him, I state. Again, I'm sorry. She looks me in the face now. I'll never understand why we love each other. I'm just one fucking girl at Strickfield High. I'm the bad schoolgirl. One fucking girl out of all those others, and he falls in love with me. Then she cries. I put a gentle hand on her shoulder. Bells, I really didn't want you to see me like this, she whispers. As much as I torture that worm of a man, and as much as I try to forget him by fucking other guys at school, I still care for him a lot. You know, I told Grams I'd never be bound to another man. Know what she said? Once you've met the one, your fate shall be joined with his, until death do you part. Grams was wise in many things. She takes her hand off my shoulder, then turns her back to me and shouts, But why does my one have to be a fucking
worm of a man. Bells? I ask. Are you okay? She turns back to me. I just wanted to get us the hell away from that school and not have to serve detention. Plus, I could tell you weren't feeling good. That's why I kissed Hermione. But, fuck, she sighs. Your friendship means far more to me than being Matthew Van Diest's soulmate. I tighten my fists. Just answer me truthfully, Bells. Do you really love him in the same way he loves you? Tears run down her face again. Yes, she chokes out. I'm sorry. A long pause. Bells speaks up again. Once again, I won't choose him over you. But what if your feelings get to be too strong? I demand sharply. I've seen how Van Diest looks at you. How long before you're both ready to come together again? Especially when you've kissed him the way you did again. Van Diest being with you is forbidden. Bells tightens her fists now. You think I don't know that, Aileen Donnerly? Be pissed at me all you want. I know having Thornton Gillian's blood mixed with my own gave me a very high libido and made me feral in a lot of ways, but I can still think rationally and feel emotions. I didn't want to feel anything after Gillian killed the rest of my family. And for years, I did very well. Then I met Martin. And you. I never imagined we'd become as close as we are now. We're not lovers, but we've got a connection between us. Yes, Aini, I fell in love with our fucking principal. I can't just shut my emotions off. You got pissed at me about it when we faced down that succubus. Be pissed at me all you want. But I can't help how I feel. I love him. Again, we have a long silence between us. Then I'm crying myself. And what happens if you finally succeed in curing me? Do you leave Strickfield like you've always wanted? Or is this your plan? You stay here and never return? Bells points very sharply at me now. How dare you? She tightens her fists again. I'm trying to cure you because it's the right thing to do. Do you honestly think I'd be that fucking cruel to you? Is that why you're so fucking pissed off about Van Diest? You think I'll just go and share my life with him and forget all about you? Are you that afraid of losing me, Aileen? Yes, I fucking hate Strickfield. Hate it. I could have left any time I wanted. But I remained there because of you and our friendship. What more do you want from me? Then Bells backs up against a wall, sinks to a sitting position, and cries again. I turn and walk away from Bells. Why does this happen? She and I have been with each other for many months since that first wintry night she came to Strickfield. In the beginning, I wanted her to stay here to be with my older brother Martin and keep him honest. But who am I kidding? There's no keeping mean Martin honest. I tried to be the supportive and loving sister, but again, he'll always be mean Martin. I walk outside and eventually leave the property. I still have the liquid sunlight in my hands. Then I cry again. Bells is right. I am afraid of losing her, just like I know I'm losing my life. Bells is trying so hard to cure me of my affliction. That's why she brought me here, right? I know nothing lasts forever, not even life. I've never really had any friends. I envy my twin cousin Madeline and her circle of friends. But she does come and see me. Yet, I'm so insecure. I guess that's how you feel when you've been picked on all your life. When you got beat up a lot for being smart. When people look at you and think you're just as bad as your own big brother. When you end up becoming sick because your big brother goes to a party and can't keep it in his pants when some drunk girl throws herself at him. I'm so raving mad now that I look up at the sky. I fucking hate you, Martin! I fall to my knees, then onto my side. Then I sob again because I may have just thrown away the one good thing in my life. Bells was the only true friend I ever had. She's right, though. We're not lovers. We just developed a deep bond of friendship between us. I even wanted to help Bells when she'd go out at night, so I started making our toys to fight supernatural enemies. She was even teaching me how to fight. Why do I mess things up between me and Bells? Just then I hear movement on the grass and quickly sit up. Bells? Is that you? I pick up my liquid sunlight. Who's there? When I see them, I quickly turn and run. Problem is, being a petite and skinny girl, I'm not very athletic and I can't run fast. Next thing I know, a hand goes around my mouth and a big hairy arm goes around me. Oh my God! The stench! I can't scream for help as I'm being held against what I'm thinking is a giant. And he really stinks. Next thing I know, another giant of a man hits me on the head. I groan and am dazed. I'm about to be placed into his sack and am kicking my little legs to try and fight back. I get hit again and fade to black as I'm being dropped into the sack. I'm so sorry, Bells. Perspective. Bella. I finish crying and stand up. I fucking hate it that I love Van Diest. I can't help the way I feel, and it's driving a wedge between me and Einie. Graham's always had lots of advice to give me. In fact, I know what she'd say to me right now. You never abandon your true friends, Bella. Likewise, they'll never abandon you. But you did abandon me, didn't you, Einie? Still, Graham's words keep echoing in my mind again and again. No, I gotta find her and talk things out. I gotta make her understand that she'll never lose me as a friend, even after I succeed in curing her illness. I walk out the back door and shout, Einie! Where are you? I walk out to the barn. I'm surprised it still looks nicely preserved and is still standing after all these years. The house, too. I walk into the barn, but I know Einie hasn't been in here. Then I remember I have her scent. When you've been around your best friend long enough, you'll never forget what she smells like. Or her fucking brother, for that matter. I leave the barn and go out to the big fire pit, which is where I'm planning to cook all those Thanksgiving turkeys. I take a nice whiff and have her scent. I look past the vast backyard and start following her. Before long, I see some bright light and move to it. I see the jar of liquid sunlight that I gave Einie. What the fuck is it doing laying all the way out here in the grass? I'm about to call out to her again when I pick up new scents. I can still smell Einie, but I can also smell... Ugh! Yeah, I smell two very stinky scents. I'd rather not describe the smells. Use your imagination. Being Einie's scent is mixed in, I can only assume something or someone found and snatched her. Okay, time to bitch up and find my best friend. And I'll tell you all right motherfucking now that whoever's got Einie's gonna wish they'd never been born. Perspective. Aileen. I moan a little and finally manage to shake off the cobwebs as I wake up and see I'm all tied up and gagged on a cot. Where am I? I can see the only source of light is the big fire pit in the middle of the... Best I can describe it is the equivalent of a kitchen. My eyes get wide fast when I see there are both human and animal bones everywhere. Now I see two very huge things looking at a weathered cookbook. They're looking at a picture of a turkey. Then one of them points at me. These things are planning to have me for Thanksgiving dinner. Seriously, why does life have to be so hard? All I want to do is live mine. Then I learned monsters are real and hoped and prayed they'd just leave me alone. All I can think of through all this is how my brother Martin is an even worse monster than these two. I can see more of them now. These things are huge. I'm talking as huge as the comic book versions of the Incredible Hulk were. Yeah, I'm scared of dying, but I think I'm even more scared of these things. But again, my older brother scares me more than them. What am I going to do here? Calm down, Aileen. Just think about this for a minute. Mean Martin calls you Einstein to be cruel, but you've been using that big brain of yours and making Einstein work for you. Use that big brain now. I can see that I'm lying down. I turn myself over and fall on the floor. Then I keep turning over until I reach the wall and can stand up. I have to be careful not to let those things hear me. Shit. I accidentally knock over something that makes a loud clang. Those things turn to me and are on me again. One of them lifts me up by my ropes and holds the knife to my face, practically the size of a sword. Then he utters a bunch of groans. If he expects me to understand him, my brain isn't that big. On top of that, I cannot overstate the stink. I have to fight back the urge to puke. God, I am so dead. I see my opening when he lowers me. I quickly swing my legs together like being on a swing set and kick at his groin with both feet as hard as I can. The thing groans in pain and falls to his knees. I end up on my feet and know the other one is right behind me. Then I remember a trick that Cousin Madeline does. I drop to my knees and scurry in between the thing's legs. When he turns around, I go through his legs again. I spring back to my feet and jump fast. I hear the thing roaring and coming after me. If I can't find a way to get free, I'm done for. My life can't end like this. Please, not like this. Then I come right to a big open circle that's supposed to serve as a window. There's a chair right next to it. I quickly jump up onto the chair and then dive through the window. I hit the dead, overgrown grass below before I get back up and keep running. Boy, do I ever make that thing mad. He roars really loud. I have to keep moving. He can't get through the window, but he can still walk through the doors. And then both of those things are outside when one of them bursts right through. I keep jumping fast until I come to the barn. I duck inside and jump some more until I find some tall hay to hide in. My eyes open wide when I see I came very close to landing on a sickle. I turn it and start rubbing the ropes against the blade. Problem is, the blade is very dull. It's going to take some time to get through these ropes, and time is not a luxury I have right now. I hear those things coming in and have to stop when they're near where I'm hiding. They both yell in frustration. Sounds like they're a bit on the slow side. I make myself stay calm and work on the ropes binding my wrists. My eyes open wide when I feel those ropes slipping away. Guess they either didn't tie the rope good enough there, or they underestimated how little I am. Very quietly, I work to untie the rest of the ropes. Wouldn't you know it? No sooner do I get the last rope off, one of them looks in and sees me. He points at me and cries out loud. "Shit!" I shriek, actually more like a loud, mousy wail. I scream when the thing that saw me tries jumping on me. I quickly turn over so he lands flat on his belly. When the other one tries picking me up again, I swing my legs and catch him in his groin again. He drops me as he's dropping down to his knees. I get up and run like hell. As soon as I'm about to clear the barn, one of the things bursts right through it and almost grabs me. I scream and run with everything I've got back to the house. I dive through another window and look around. I keep running through the other rooms to try looking for another window. Just as I'm about to climb out through one, a big, hairy, and stinky hand grabs me. No! No! Then the thing that caught me brings me right up to him and screams right in my face. Ugh! He's spitting all over me, and his bad breath nearly makes me pass out. I growl and start kicking and punching with my little fists and feet. Want to hear some irony? Back when I was in Strickfield Junior High, people called me Mouse, just like they call my cousin Madeline today. The difference between me and her was that I hated it, and the other students knew it. Maddie's really laid back and doesn't care one way or another. I am so mad right now. Then I pull off another mouse kind of move and bring my feet up to kick the thing right in the eyes. He screams and drops me. I get up and run only to feel something hit me hard on the back of the head. Everything's spinning when I fall on my side fast. Then I feel the other thing lifting me up and patting me, knowing he's finally got me. I'm shaking my head to clear the cobwebs, but he hit me real good. By the time I finally shake the cobwebs, I feel a big stick at my back and heat on my front. Those things have me tied to a big stick, and they're turning me over the fire like a rotisserie. They're really cooking me alive. I'm so screwed. Hi guys, what's for dinner? Then I feel the absolute biggest excitement I've ever felt in my life. Bells! When the things turn and see Bells, they look at her and start growling happily, like they struck it rich with another morsel they can eat. Perspective. Bella. As soon as those big motherfuckers see me, I stretch myself to let them hear my bones cracking. Yeah, I'm definitely ready for a fight. Really? You're cooking that scrawny little thing for your Thanksgiving dinner? Then I chuckle. There's hardly any meat on those bones. Or mine, for that matter. The things roar and come at me. As they stupidly jump, I use my vampiric powers and warp right to Aini. I quickly break the ropes and snatch her to me. You came for me, Bells, she squeaks happily. Duh, I tell her. I promised you a big Thanksgiving dinner. Not that you'd be dinner. Look out, Aini warns me. I grab her and warp us both to the door. I hand her the liquid sunlight. Haul ass back to the house. I'll be right behind you. As soon as Aini turns and runs, I quickly run outside myself. Those things are hot after me now. I leap to put some distance in between me and those things before turning to face them. I give them my evil smirk. You fuckers want this little devil? Come and get me then. It's been a little bit since I've had a good fight. They roar and come at me. When the closest one reaches me, I leap up and pop him hard in the face. He drops over like a freshly cut tree. When the other one's on me, I easily lift him up over my head and throw him back into his house. Yeah, these fuckers are easily 400 pounds plus and a good 8 feet tall. When they try coming at me again, I use my cheap parlor tricks and cause a wall of fire to erupt in between me and them. Don't test me, motherfuckers, I warn them. But they can't understand me, can they? They keep coming for me. I'm just toying with those things right now. For the record, these two are definitely dying for all the innocent people they've killed. Yeah, I saw all the human bones in their house. And then there's the fact that they were gonna eat Aini. The fuckers come through my firewall. Your funeral, I tell them. Suddenly Aini comes right up beside me. Boy, is she really pissed. Fuck you! She screams before she heaves the liquid sunlight at them. The jar shatters on the one's head and instantly sets him on fire. He screams like he's never screamed in his life. On instinct, he grabs the other thing and accidentally sets him on fire. These big lugs are so fucked. Liquid sunlight's very lethal when out of the jar. Aini and I watch them burn until there's nothing left. but their big-ass bones. Then Aini and me turn to face each other. The fire from the burning bodies is still making enough light to where it's bright. "I'm sorry, Bells," Aini says. "I'm sorry too," I tell her. Then I take her hands. "I won't choose Van Diest over you. I told you before, our friendship is more important to me and always will be." Then Aini squeezes my hands. "I just don't want to lose you, Bells. You're the only real friend I've got." "And you me." She sighs. "I wouldn't be a good friend to you if I tried keeping you all to myself. I admit I'm very insecure, but you came for me, so I know and understand now I'll never lose you as a friend. You can go ahead and see where things go with you and Principal Van Diest. Just be careful. If he gets fired over this, there might be a big scandal. Even you don't need that. That's another reason why I'm not ultimately pursuing Van Diest," I tell her. "I don't want to ruin his life. As far as the average person is concerned, I'm a teenager." "But you need to know, Bells," Aini says. "Either that or leave Strickfield High." I smirk. "Well, since you won't let me leave Strickfield High..." "You're coming back to Strickfield with me?" Aini asks in anticipation. "Duh, I gotta bring you back home. Now, let's get back to the house and get some rest. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I don't want you falling asleep during our big feast." She smiles. "Sounds good, Bells." Before we leave, we check the house for any possible survivors. When we don't find any, we head back outside. I use my cheap parlor tricks to set the house ablaze. Nobody needs to stumble upon this home of nightmares ever again. Once it burns to the ground, it's gone. When we're both satisfied, Aini and I head back to my house. "Dig in," I tell Aini when I set the platter with her meal down in front of her on Thanksgiving afternoon. I was outside at sunrise and cooking all the turkeys in the big fire pit. I made the rest of the sides in Graham's kitchen, just the way she taught me. I mean, I made everything, from mashed potatoes and gravy, to green beans, to corn, biscuits, and even fresh apple pie for dessert. Aini ate more at my table than she probably has ever before in her life. I also managed to go through the Taibon family library and find Graham's big book of remedies. There are lots and lots of treatments I can whip up for Aini. I'll be taking the book back to Strickfield. So far, the new treatment I whipped up for her yesterday continues to work. I just hope this one will last long enough to where I can maybe find something much better. Or, fingers crossed, maybe even a cure. We spend all of Thanksgiving at my house. On Friday, we leave Ravenhenge and drive back to Strickfield. We have plenty of leftovers from our feast. I silently thank Grams for teaching me the things she did. As Aini and me talk about things, Grams was right about never abandoning your true friends. Aini came back for me when she didn't have to. Yeah, she probably wanted revenge on those things, but she came back for me just like I came for her. Again, I remember what Grams told me about friends. You never abandon your true friends, Bella. Likewise, they will never abandon you. Yeah, I know, I'm a wicked little devil. Grams was the one who named me that, by the way. Still, I feel like I'm becoming more like Grams than I want to let on. She couldn't teach me everything she knew, but she taught me good just the same. As for my feelings, I've still got to consider things with Van Diest, but I won't risk exploring them. Not if it means losing Aini as a friend. Even if he's not worth her friendship, when we cross into Strickfield, I'm already feeling how much I hate this village. At the same time, It's home. Speaking of home, we pull in at the Donnerly house. Yeah, home at last. That's when I realize that wherever Aini and I are together, that's home. Like I said, Aini and me ain't lovers, and now I'm starting to understand what our connection really is. Aini had said what we were in front of her grandmother last summer in Shore City. I look at my very best friend and know that we are a family. The two of us. Yeah, I can bear living in Strickfield for as long as needed, because this village is where my family is. And like Grams would tell you, nothing is more important than your true family. Mortal Eclipse by Rob Fields. I was sound asleep when I felt someone shaking me awake. Einstein! I yawned and blinked a few times. Then I fully opened my eyes to see my older brother. Martin? What do you want? I grumbled. I can't find Bella anywhere. I want to talk to her. She never came home last night. I worked some overtime at Mirren Automotive and didn't get home until late, Martin explained. Bella wasn't here. I looked all over the house for her. I even went out back. I figured she was out fighting a vampire or something. I woke up a little while ago and she's not here. She doesn't have a smartphone, so I can't text her. I groaned. Well, what do you want me to do? Martin fired back. You can help find her, you little snippet. This was the sort of thing you never saw between Martin and me. Until now. Martin and I truly didn't get along with each other. And for good reason. Still, after hearing Martin, I was worried about Bells. I didn't back down from Martin. Okay, I'll change clothes and go out and look for her. Does that make mean Martin happy? I yelled. Martin wanted to grab me, but he knew better. Instead, he took a deep breath. You know Bella better than I do. You know where she frequents. I gave Martin an odd look. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe there's a reason why Bells doesn't want to talk to you? For the record, she knows you're sleeping around with other girls. I pointed at him. You two aren't even in a relationship. I folded my arms in front of me. Even though you're working so many hours and keeping up with your college work, you're still out causing trouble. Martin pointed right at me. Don't you test me. I unfolded my arms and tightened my fists. Fuck you! It's because of you that I'm sick! Martin got diffused fast and backed off. He could never look me in the face after what happened that night. Martin sighed. Einstein, I just want to talk to Bella. As long as she's staying here with you, I think it's the least she can do. We both know Bella's never liked being here in Strickfield. I'm beginning to wonder if she finally... I untightened my fists and got out of bed. I went to my closet and gave it a quick once-over. Martin quickly came up right behind me. What are you doing, you little snippet? Martin always called me a little snippet whenever I frustrated him, which made me laugh a little inside. Martin was only caring for me out of obligation. Far from that, there was no love lost between us. I quickly turned to Martin and glared at him. No, Bells didn't leave Strickfield. At least not for good. Her things are still here. I pointed to the floor in the closet. See those? Those are her 80s Reebok Pump men's basketball shoes. Belle would never just leave those behind. I had to think about it a little bit. But you're right, Mean Martin. He pointed right at me. You don't get to call me that. Fuck you, I snap again. He seemed ready to grab me again, but he backed off. Yeah, he knows better. Then I talked to him. It is strange that Bells isn't home on a Saturday morning. She usually comes and shakes me awake so we can go have breakfast at Denoyer's Grill. I looked Martin in the face. Fine. I'll change clothes and go look for her. I have some ideas on where to find her. I pointed at him. Who knows? Maybe if you're lucky, neither of us will come back home. I work all those hours for you, Einstein, he snapped. It's how I afford your medications. He pointed right at me. You better start showing me some fucking respect. You don't deserve any goddamn respect, I snapped back. Now get out of my room. Martin growled and finally left. I changed into regular clothes and grabbed my smartphone. I called for an Uber since I couldn't drive and waited. This road trip was probably going to be expensive, but I was willing to pay it. Anything to get away from mean Martin at that point. I had the Uber driver take me to some of the usual haunts Bells and I frequented. Bells wasn't at any of them. I even looked at Denoyer's Grill. The place was packed full of Strickfield High students who were having breakfast. I didn't see any sign of Bells, though. I didn't think I would. You'd think she'd probably be here, especially with that monstrous appetite of hers. See, Bells is a master vampire, but a really unique version of one. She's the only one of her kind who can walk in the daylight. She has many master vampire strengths and none of their weaknesses. She's also the one vampire I know who doesn't drink blood. No, she has to eat an incredible amount of food in order to satisfy her immense hunger. Martin was right about Bells and Strickfield. She hated the village, but Denoyer's Grill was the one place she truly loved here. People loved the food at Denoyer's, but Bells really loved it. I had no doubt that Denoyer himself made money off her since she started eating there almost regularly. But no, Bells wouldn't have come here on Saturday morning without me. I mean, us having breakfast here on Saturday morning was a weekly ritual for us. The driver pulled away from the diner. I had him take me to other places where Bells and I would hang out. I even went down the big hill near the Castalia River to the cave where we'd go sometimes to be alone. If anything, Bells loved the view there. You could see the big river and even some of Strickfield University. I think that was why we went to a lot of places off the beaten path. Just her and me. She loved her views. And then I suddenly realized that I knew where Bells was. There was one more place that suddenly came to mind. The one place that had the view. You want to make some serious money? I asked the driver. What you got in mind? He asked quickly. It was dark when I reached the very top floor of the tallest building in the huge megalopolis of Shore City. It was night, it was chilly, and it was quite windy up here. I came out onto the roof through the doorway and found Bells there. We first came to this place just before we left back in June, after my falling out with Grandma Donnerly. Took you long enough, Einie, Bells said without even looking my way. Bells? Is everything okay? I asked in concern. Martin wanted me to find you. Fuck him, she replied. I got my own problems. What problems? You're scaring me. She turned and faced me. Something was quite different about Bells now. Usually she was practically naked. I mean, she had to keep enough of her skin exposed so she didn't become too claustrophobic, which was part of her vampirism. But now she was wearing some of my clothes. A pair of jeans, a Strickfield High t-shirt, normal shoes, and even her varsity jacket that the Strickfield High cheerleaders wore. I was wearing mine. She didn't look the least bit ready to shred her clothes. She even had sunglasses on. I just looked at Bells. Are you okay? I mean, are you really okay? As Bells came close to me, I could tell she'd been crying. Then she pointed to the moon. I didn't mention this. I wasn't sure if you'd heard about it or not, but we got a solar eclipse going on. This eclipse is the single biggest event to someone like me, Einie. Oh, I know about the solar eclipse. I pointed to my glasses to show my lenses had transitioned dark. But what you don't know is that the solar eclipse is the one time where I become as close to human as I can possibly be. During the solar eclipse, I'm completely powerless. I can be hurt and killed like an ordinary human being. Since I still have Thornton Gillian's blood in my body, I found I'm still immortal for sure when it comes to my aging process, and I still have to eat a ton of food. I hit an all-you-can-eat buffet before I came here. You could have stayed at the house, Bells, I pointed out. Why come all the way to Shore City for the eclipse? Because this is the one time I'm most vulnerable. You and I both know Martin's been showing his true colors as of late. I wouldn't put it past him to try and take advantage of me as a human. I still have my training, but Martin would piss me off to the point where I'd want to kill him. No, Einie, it's better this way. We both leaned against a wall and just looked out at the seemingly endless array of lights and huge bridges that spanned the big river. I love it up here, Einie, Bells told me. It's so beautiful up here. I can't think of a more perfect place to wait out the eclipse. You're right, Bells. It is beautiful up here. I glanced over at her. You know, I really envy you sometimes. You can see the world over on account of you never getting old. Bells took and held my hand. To be honest, being a fucking vampire wasn't something I ever wanted. Unfortunately, I can't give this shit back. All I can do is savor the one fucking eclipse that can make me almost human again, if even for just a little while. What, you'd rather be dead? I asked with surprise. Bells squeezed my hand a little. I should be long dead in my grave with my fucking kids continuing the Taibon line. She started crying softly again before she got mad. But no! I gotta both be a fucking immortal and the only Taibon in existence. Then she suddenly screamed out into the night. Fuck you, Thornton Gillian! If it's the last motherfucking thing I do, I'll kill every last goddamn one of your kind. When she calmed down, I glanced her way. I'm so sorry, Bells, I whispered. Bells shook her head slowly. Don't be fucking sorry. You didn't make me a monster. She glanced at me now. You're such a mousy little shit, like your cousin Madeline. But I've really come to fucking love you. Anyway, trust me on this. You don't want to be envying me. Being like me ain't all it's cracked up to be. I eat more food than a fucking billy goat, and I want sex all the time. I even started fucking people at school. I loved to fight when I was immortal. Now that I'm tainted with Thornton Gillian's blood, I love it that much more. With all that comes with being me, you'd be very high maintenance. I really didn't know what to say to Bells. She smiled a little. Don't worry, Einie. You're definitely safe. Since I don't drink blood, that means I can't sire anybody. Bells and I just looked at each other. Then I got a text from Martin and showed it to her. Should I tell Martin I found you and you're okay? She raised an eyebrow. We both know you don't want to. Drop the act. I know you two don't get along. I know you hate him. I nodded. So much. He's the reason I'm sick. I replied to Martin and lied about finding Bells. When he demanded to know where I was, I shut the phone off. Bells put an arm around me and gave me a gentle hug. I put an arm around her and hugged her back. We were silent for a long moment before I asked, Okay, Bells, what do you want to do while we wait out this eclipse? Before Bells could answer, someone else answered for her. I've got a great idea. How about the two of us beat the two of you to a bloody pulp before we kill both of your fucking asses? Bells and I were both surprised to see. No motherfucking way, Bells cried. I fucking paralyzed you two last winter. We didn't know which girl was which since they were identical twin sisters, but they were on either side of us. They were wearing completely different cheerleading outfits from the ones that Bells and I wore at Strickfield High. They were black with red trim and consisted of a miniskirt with an athletic top. In fact, their tops both had a word embroidered on them. The twin coming toward Bells had bitch, while the other coming toward me had vixen. They both had long, wavy blonde hair and glowing red eyes. They were Alyssa and Allie Mirren. Bells fought those two and their cheerleading squad back in January. They were a coven of witches who were trying to turn themselves into vampires, using something called Old Bloodstone. That's old with an E on the end. As far as we both knew, They hadn't completed their transformations into vampires. To show us that they had, they vamped out and raised their claws. The vixen twin laughed at Bells' comment. Guess we got the last laugh, huh? The bitch one smiled an evil smile. Here's what you didn't know. We, that is Alyssa and me, took the power from the other cheerleaders ourselves. Right, Alyssa agreed. We figured you'd catch on to us somehow. Yeah, we learned who you were, Bella Taibon. We put some extra old bloodstone inside our shoe soles. We were able to complete our transformations into full vampires after all. We were coming to look for you two, Allie growled. We owe you for what happened back in January. And what did we just hear? Alyssa squealed with delight. That you, Bella Taibon, are powerless during this eclipse. Allie's anger turned to a squealing delight now. Which means we can have all the fun we want with you before we drink you up. Run, Einie! Bells yelled. The two of us both turned to the door and escaped through it. I quickly pulled it shut behind us and locked it. As we were at the bottom of the steps, we heard the door being ripped away. We can't outrun them, Bells told me. Suddenly, one of the twins was right in front of Bells to make sure she ran into her fist. Bells fell flat on her back. Then the other twin had punched me right in the face to send me falling on top of her. She really is powerless, Allie shrieked with delight. She was the one wearing bitch on her athletic top. Taibon has a nosebleed that won't stop. Alyssa came up right next to her. And if she can bleed like that, that means we can kill her. Bells sat up. Yeah, play with your new fucking powers while you got 'em. I may not be at full strength right now. I was amazed to see Bells still show off her sinister, sexy smile. Suddenly, Bells struck. She quickly spun and got to her feet. Then she threw some kind of powder at both of them. The Mirren twins screamed and shrieked as they covered their faces. Bells quickly grabbed my hand and pulled me to my feet. We gotta go, Einie. I shrieked as Bells and I ran through some hallways. Bells led me down one stairway, into an elevator to go down a couple of floors, down another stairway. Are they going to catch us, Bells? I cried. Okay, yes. I was scared as holy hell right now. Not that easily, but they probably will, Bells said truthfully. I threw some powerful garlic essence in their faces, Graham's family recipe. Their reaction confirms they're full vampires. It doesn't look like they've mastered their new powers fully. You expected those two? I asked. No, but when you have enemies out there, other vampires, you damn fucking sure better be prepared. Bells and I managed to make it down a total of 23 floors before we were both finally taken down by two wolves. As we turned around to fight the wolves, they both transformed back into the Mirren twins. Then they both lifted us up and threw us across the room. We both crashed into cubicles, knocking over the walls. I know I ended up flat on my back on a desk. I didn't see where Bells landed. I didn't have time to clear the stairs that I was seeing because a twin snatched me up and threw me against some more cubicles. I cried out as I knocked over some more walls. When I landed, it was on the floor by a doorway. Bells landed right on top of me shortly after. This is so much fun, Allie, Alyssa cheered. She was wearing the vixen top. I know, and we're just getting started, Allie replied. Then she picked up Bells. Come on, Taibon. Fight us. Not so tough without your powers, are you? Bells gave Allie her sexy smile. You mean you fucking airheads haven't figured it out yet? Being powerless doesn't mean I'm helpless. Bells suddenly reached into her hair, pulled out 2 vials of a clear liquid, and threw them at each vampire. The Mirren twins screamed when the vials broke on their foreheads. They had burns and boils where the liquid had splashed them. It's fucking holy water! Alyssa yelled. Bells quickly yanked me to my feet. Run, Einie! We both got out of those offices. Bells again held my hand as she guided me through stairways for so many floors and then into elevators. We managed to get down 11 more floors before the Mirren twins found us again. Alyssa grabbed Bells and slammed her head into a nearby water cooler with enough force to shatter the glass and get water everywhere. Then she picked Bells up and heaved her through the glass window that was outside of an office. Allie grabbed me and moved my arm behind my back, making me cry out in pain. "You're going to watch as your friend gets her ass kicked before we kill her, Aileen Donnerly." But Bells wasn't going to let Alyssa just kick her around. She fought back and used some of her martial arts training that she had accumulated during her travels around the world. Bells managed to draw blood from Alyssa, but it wouldn't be long before Alyssa would heal up. If anything, Bells was keeping her dazed and off balance. Allie threw me to the floor and went to help her sister. Bells was taking on both of them now. She showed both twins that she truly knew how to fight. Bells wouldn't be able to beat both twins by just fighting alone. At least not without her powers. I knew it would only be a matter of time before Bells would be overpowered by both of them. I shrieked and leapt onto Allie's back. Allie quickly grabbed me and flipped me onto my back. Then she pointed to Bells. "Stop right there! Stop right there, or so help me, I'll kill Aileen right goddamn now!" Bells had no choice but to stop fighting. Alyssa got a cheap shot in on Bells that caused her bloody nose to start up again and sent her falling flat on her back. Then Alyssa uttered an incantation of some kind on Bells. After the spell was completed, Alyssa gave a weird look. Whatever spell she had tried on Bells, it didn't work. "I'm sure I recited the spell right," Alyssa complained. "You did," Allie assured her sister. "I don't know why it's not working on her either." Bells laughed. "I may be powerless during this fucking eclipse, but I still have the vampire blood in my body. Hate to tell you two fucking bees, but magic is the one thing that doesn't work on me. It hasn't since I was transformed. And really, you were going to try and turn me into an old crone before you killed me?" She flipped them both off. "Not happening." Allie screamed with rage and rushed at Bells. She managed to get out of the way, but Allie was still too quick. She managed to grab Bells' arm and twist it so that it snapped at the elbow. Bells screamed in agonizing pain before Allie kicked her in the stomach. "We need to do it now, sis," Allie yelled. "We have to destroy Bella Taibon now." Alyssa lifted me up and drove me through a nearby office window. I landed on my back and was covered with glass. I was in pain all over. I knew Alyssa had to be joining her sister in double-teaming Bells. I managed to pull myself to my feet to see the two of them just laying into Bells. These two weren't holding anything back. They were making Bells scream in pain as they battered and broke her. When I say they broke her, I mean they broke bone after bone. They kicked and punched her ribs. They broke her arms and legs. They shattered her knee joints. They even made her face a crimson mask. One of them even punched Belle in the face so hard that her left eye came hanging right out of its socket. Bells was flat on her back now. The Mirren twins were standing right over her. "Bet you don't have anything smart to say to us now," Allie taunted. "Do you?" Even though Bells had been beaten and battered to the point that definitely would have killed an ordinary human, Bells still managed to cling to life. In fact, she was actually laughing at the twins. "Yeah, you two can both..." Then she yelled, "Suck my motherfucking dick!" Allie turned to her sister. "Pull her up. Since she's still human, I say we drink her dry. Then we drink up her little friend." "Sounds good to me," Alyssa purred. Bells laughed again. "I wouldn't do that if I were you." But they ignored her. I tried to find something to use as a weapon, but what the hell are you going to find in a bunch of offices? I spoke too soon. I ran to an emergency fire axe and broke the glass to grab the weapon. I rushed at Alyssa to drive the axe in her back, but she turned and snatched me by my throat. Then she grabbed the axe and tossed it away. "Now, you skinny little shit, you're going to watch as we drink up your friend," Alyssa declared. "After that, we're going to drink you up." "No! No!" I wailed. Allie yanked Bells to her feet and held her from behind as she sank her fangs into Belle's neck. She gasped as Allie drank her blood. After a little bit, Allie stopped. Sis, it's delicious. I mean, it's fucking scrumptious. I saved you enough so you can feed. The twins switched places. Then Alyssa drank from Belle's, who wasn't moving anymore now. I couldn't help myself and began to cry. Belle's! I shrieked. I knew I was going to be next, but my heart felt really heavy at knowing that my best friend was likely dead. When Alyssa finished draining whatever was left of Belle's, she threw her body off to the side, like it was a rag doll. Wow, you were right, sis. That was the best blood we've ever tasted. Then she looked at me. Aww. She mocked me by pretending to cry. Poor little Aileen, your big bad vampire bestie is all dead now. And now, for our dessert. Now, for those of you who've been following along, you know I usually don't get vulgar unless I'm really mad. Fuck you! Fuck you, you fucking bleach blonde pieces of shit! The twins both laughed scornfully at me. I mean, they laughed so hard I couldn't believe they really thought that what I screamed was funny. When they collected themselves, Allie ran her tongue up the side of my face. Oh, you're so cute. I know if I were a guy, I'd definitely fuck you good. Even if you are a fucking geek with your squeaky little mouse voice and all. But, like I said, you get to be dessert now. Alyssa grinned. Knowing these vampire sisters were going to drain me the way they drained Belle's, I stood up boldly and looked Alyssa square in the eyes. Fuck you! I hope you choke on me! Bon appetit, Alyssa said to Allie. You drink first. With pleasure, Allie replied gratefully. Suddenly it began to get windy? Indoors? The twins looked puzzled. You heard, Einie, a familiar voice said that made me shriek for joy. When the Mirren twins turned and saw Belle's standing there, whole again, their looks of horror were priceless. Then Belle's told them, Fuck you! Belle's quickly removed her varsity jacket and grabbed both of the twins, causing Allie to let me go. She threw them both at a nearby wall. Then she turned to them. 2 things. 1, guess what's over? She raised her finger. That's right, you fucking Mirren bees. The solar eclipse is finally fucking over. Which means I'm fully restored, which means I feel just fucking fantastic. And 2, you're both gonna be quite fucking dead very shortly. The twins both stood up. Oh, what? What are you gonna do? Slaughter us? Alyssa sneered. Belle's folded her arms in front of her. As much as I'd like to for how you hurt Einie, I really don't have to. As a matter of fact, a soft sigh. I already killed you both. The twins just looked at each other in confusion. Wait for it, Belle's murmured. Oh yes, I'd say you both are starting to look like handmade shit right about now. My jaw dropped when it looked like the twins were starting to melt. They were both acting like it was very hot, then they started to scream in intense pain. While they were still able to hear yet, Belle's explained. I told you not to drink from me, didn't I? The second eclipse ended and I was fully restored. That means the blood you drank from me also came alive in your systems. My blood doesn't allow me to utilize magic spells. At the same time, it also disenchants things with magic. Since you two were stupid enough to drink my blood, it's become the deadliest of poisons to you now. We both watched as Allie and Alyssa Mirren melted away until they were nothing more than 2 disgusting piles of goop. Even their bones and internal organs melted. In fact, all that remained were their cheerleader uniforms. Suddenly, Belle's started to feel very uncomfortable herself. She kicked off her shoes and tore her clothes apart. By the time she was finished, the clothes looked like a tattered bikini. Once again, Belle's was unable to wear a lot of clothing, as part of her unique vampire nature. Bells turned to me. "Are you okay, Aini?" I hugged Bells to me tightly and began to cry. "I really thought they killed you." "They did," she confirmed. "Looks like Thornton Gillian's blood said otherwise. Again. Looks like I'm still cursed to walk the earth as my own unique kind of master vampire. So it looks like you and me are still attached at the hip." When I finished crying, Bells suggested we get the hell out of there before the police arrived and head back to Strickfield. I snatched Belle's hand. "I'm ready to tell you everything now. About what happened to me. And why I'm always sick." Bells gave me her undivided attention. "I'm listening." When we got in the door, Martin was overjoyed to see that I had brought Bells back home. He shot right to her and tried to hug her, but Bells quickly knocked him on his ass. "Aini told me everything, Martin," Bells said. "She told me how you fucked a drunk chick at a high school party. Courtney Rickman, was it? Anyway, she promised you there'd be hell to pay when the alcohol wore off. Courtney and her friends came here to find you. They broke in and found Aini instead. Courtney's older brother raped Aini to get back at you for taking advantage of her. The problem was, he had AIDS, which meant Aini got AIDS." Bells quickly lifted Martin to his feet. I had never seen Bells so pissed off in my life. "You just couldn't keep your fucking dick in your pants," she continued. "And Aini has to pay for that. With her fucking life," she vamped out. "Give me one good fucking goddamn reason why I shouldn't kill your ass right here and now." Bells glanced at me. "Is this what Grandma Donnerly tried to tell me in June?" "Yes," I whispered sadly. Then I told Bells, "Don't kill him. He's not worth it." "How can you say that?" she demanded. "It's not going to make me better. I'm still going to die. Killing Martin won't change anything." Bells finally dropped him and became human again. "From now on, Martin, Aini's under my protection. You fuck with her, I fuck with you. You got that?" Bells turned away from him. "Let's get you into bed. I know you're not feeling well." I didn't argue as Bells took me to my bedroom. I felt so much better finally telling my best friend everything. I also felt safer knowing she was there. But deep down I knew Mean Martin would eventually strike again. With a vengeance. Bella Taibon has faced vampires, witches, cosmic threats, and herself. But tomorrow, she'll face Hellweaver and the truth about who really paid the price to save her soul. Don't miss the final episode of our summer miniseries, Deadly Second Chances, tomorrow, only on Weekly Spooky. Until then, don't drink any blood.